What's up, folks? Welcome back to 802 Garage. I just got a request from a subscriber, TR7 Triumph, to show how I did my auxiliary tank setup for my Harbor Freight air compressor. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview. It's really simple, really cheap, other than the air tank, and it's definitely a great addition because I run out of air a lot slower with this bigger tank attached to my air compressor. It does take a while to fill because this compressor isn't particularly fast, but once it's filled up, at least I don't run out of power when I'm using it. So basically all that you need to buy to actually make this work is a hose to go in between the Harbor Freight compressor and your auxiliary air tank, and then any attachments you're going to need to make this work. So what I needed in my case was, I believe it's either a 5/16 or a 1/2 inch to 3/8 inch adapter. Then I just got a 3/8 inch NPT T-fitting. And from there, I got a ball valve just so that I can shut this tank off if I need to. And I got another regulator from Harbor Freight, which was only a few dollars, and then just another coupler. So let me show you what this looks like without any air hoses attached. So this is the entire setup. I basically got a T-fitting, a ball valve, which was a few dollars, and then just a male NPT fitting. And then on this side, I just have a female-to-female coupler to the regulator, and then the connector. So this total setup is probably only maybe, I would guess, probably $5 for these couplers, a couple dollars for the fittings, $5 for this, and then another $5 for this. So less than $20 to get this set up. You could probably do it even cheaper if you had some stuff laying around, of course. This air tank I got for free essentially because we already had it. It had a hole in the bottom. It was slowly leaking. It does still ever so slowly seep out air, but no problem. It definitely isn't enough to make the compressor go on anytime. It takes days to go out. So basically, once you have this set up, I just wanted an air regulator going out, obviously, so I can send the proper amount of power to my tools, keep it regulated at 90 psi, and then have the standard fitting so that I can plug in my hose to that, or the normal Harbor Freight compressor. And then I have a male fitting going in so that I can plug in a normal air line from my compressor into this. The only problem with that is you do need a shutoff valve, because if you leave it open, you get air out of it, obviously. So that's just nice. And then the other good thing is I could move this tank if I wanted with air in it and still use it until it ran out of pressure. On this side, it would be ideal to actually put the regulator out and have a T-fitting off this so that I could plug it into the tank and have the full pressure of this, because as of right now, it gets fed by the regulator on this. So if this is only set to 80 psi, this tank will only get filled to 80 psi. So I have to turn this up to make sure it's feeding this tank quickly so I can get the full 90 psi out of this. But yeah, so really simple setup. Just hose from your Harbor Freight compressor, go into a T-fitting on this tank, which then goes out to a regulator and a normal coupler. Basically just turns that 21-gallon tank into, I would guess that's probably another 23 or 25-gallon tank. So I basically end up with over 40 gallons instead of just 21. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope this was helpful. If you want to do a similar setup, if you need any links to products or anything like that, or any advice, let me know. I'm not an expert on air tools, but this was pretty simple, and somebody asked, so I figured I'd show you. By the way, I just want to mention real quick for anyone considering buying this air compressor out there, the 21-gallon from Harbor Freight, or any of the cheaper Harbor Freight air compressors really, I honestly don't highly recommend them. For the price, they are good, but mine does not work amazing in the cold, especially if you have it on an extension cord, although that's not entirely the compressor's fault, but I just don't think it has the strongest startup capacity. And it also only goes to 125 psi, which is pretty normal, but a lot of compressors nowadays can do 135, 150, 165, or even 175, and that just gives you a lot longer running time, plus more power if you need it. And so honestly, if I was going to do it again, I paid $150 for this with a coupon, and I believe I got it on free shipping, even though it came freight. There was some deal there, but instead of getting this shipped or having to find a Harbor Freight, I would honestly recommend going to Lowe's, Home Depot, or Sears and buying one of their compressors when they're on sale. So sometimes their 150 or 175 PSI air compressors are on sale for only $150, like the same price as this compressor. And then they're at Lowe's or Home Depot, so you have that store right there if anything goes wrong with it. Just make sure you go online and look at reviews for whatever compressor you're considering. Look thoroughly through the reviews. Some of them are complete crap, some of them are really good. I would also recommend getting an oilless, and really spending a little extra money on a compressor is worth it because the refill time and the noise are so much better on a slightly more expensive compressor. So do your research, look through reviews. This isn't a terrible option, but it's not the best option. Look around, and I would maybe recommend something else. Thanks so much. Appreciate it, everyone. Have a great night.